Yes, sir. Geeks all over the globe, God. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cuz We Geek'd. We encourage you to stay geek, man. Listen, I apologize. A lot of technical difficulties going on right now, man. Hopefully I got everything squared away here. But listen, it's your boy Rail. Got Cuz in the building, Big J and BA as well. We're back with another episode, y'all. Got a lot to get into today. Listen, if you guys are into the geek culture, you know what I'm saying, movies, television, you know, X-Men, Star Wars, Justice League, whatever it is, y'all, we talk about it over here on Cuz We Geek'd. So hit that subscribe button, join us here. And also, too, if everybody could do us a favor, hit them likes. That'd be much appreciated as well. And if you have any questions or any comments, y'all, add it to the comment section and we'll address them here at the end of the show. All right, fellas, let's get to it, man. Great show, man. They came on Wednesday, X-Men 97. You guys already know. We got to talk about episode 4, y'all. We got to talk about episode 4. All right. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of X-Men 97. But y'all already know. You already know how we do. Before we start talking about anything about the shows that we've been watching, we recommend that you go watch the show, go watch the episode, go watch the season, whatever it is, come back. Y'all let us know what you think. But if you're still here, I'm letting you know now. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yes, sir. Listen, you've been warned. All right, I'm telling you now because BJ gonna spoil everything out here. All right, we talking X-Men 97. No theme song from BA. Listen, man. We gonna talk about this. There you go. No, you gotta do the new version with the little wee. All that in there. No, so we're gonna talk about episode 4. We normally give our thoughts on the episode, then we kind of have our overall discussion of it, and then we give our Kaioken rating of a scale of 1 to 10 of the episode. So let's get to it. Big J, so you and BA was tag team hating last week. What you think about this episode? Episode 4.
Hating? No, you thought I was Haitian. That's what it was. No, I'm not Haitian or hating. I'm from Louisiana.
Haitian or hating? Neither.
No. So first of all, once again, I disagree with the first thing you said because you said we want you to go watch the original source, come back. No, trust us for all your opinions. You don't have a valid opinion. Listen to our opinions, make it your opinion, then agree with us after you watch the show. Then you can be like, you know what, they was right about everything.
Valid opinion. Jeez.
Valid.
Can't be mad at that.
Valid.
No, it was a good episode, man. I was annoyed with your boy Magneto and I know he was trying to do like, well, what if we just turn Apocalypse into the first X-Men and make him our ally, and then we ain't got to keep fighting him. And that's what what's the name? Kang was trying to tell him, like, dude, you're always gonna lose. So just let me have the power. Basically, like just get me the power.
Let me conquer y'all.
Yeah, let me conquer everybody wins. I win, you win. It's okay. So I mean, it was a lose-lose situation it was in. It's either you're gonna get dominated by Apocalypse, you're gonna get dominated by Kang. Whoever, so and they chose to try and get Apocalypse on their side, and of course it did not work. Now I've been hearing some crazy stuff though, based on the ending, because people saying that they don't believe that Magnus is gone. I'm like, we saw that laser light the skeleton up from behind.
Well,
radiation.
There's stuff in the comics.
I know
We've seen how this
Onslaught.
has been tied to the comics, but yeah, go ahead.
I know about Onslaught, but no, somebody was saying, well, why didn't they bring his body back? Because I heard that too. I'm like, body? What no body?
No, the body crumbled into the helmet, so you just got to carry the whole helmet like
scoop the helmet up and they use whatever left inside there. I'm like, that's like Jango Fett's helmet. I was like, I don't know what they were talking, but I heard some wild stuff. But people were like, oh, I can't believe they just left him there. I'm like, there wasn't nothing to leave. Y'all didn't
Right.
see what happened to them? I'm like, that's why Charles was crying. He was like, I can't believe that just happened. It turned my boy into dust, with dust and goo particles.
Mhm.
But and then the funny thing is when they went into the ship and the ship had the hieroglyphics showing them there with him as he was ascending. I'm like,
But they
oh,
already did it. It's already.
yeah, they should knew they were screwed up. Y'all should just ran away. As soon as you saw that on the wall, just leave. Don't have no more
Yeah.
conversation. You know, try and blow the ship up if you can and just get out of it. But they was like, oh, let's try and talk him out of it. And I'm like, so it was a good episode. It was some twists. Like I said, it was dark when we saw Magnus get shot. I think we know that means we get an onslaught.
What'd you
Which
say?
I don't, huh?
What'd you say? Who you getting?
Onslaught.
What? I've been telling y'all that. Y'all told me shut up. Okay. Yeah.
Well, they said even in the intro they showed a scene where Charles had like in the opening they showed Charles invading Magneto, Magnus, whatever Eric Lensher's mind, and so we'll see what happens with it. I mean, I'm sure that's the way they're going with it. I just wonder if Onslaught's gonna come back and then take over, and then is he gonna be? Because I don't think he's strong enough to fight Apocalypse. So we shall see. I'm still annoyed about the fact they keep saying we've got to get back to the 1990s, and I'm like,
You got to
they said
go
about
pause
3 times.
again, look into the camera, and say 1990. Bro. You got to break the fourth wall, man.
We've got to go back to the future, Marty. And I was like, come on, man. It is a little cheesy, and also I was mad at Magneto when he snatched the time band off of Bishop's hand and broke it.
Oh yeah.
He's like, we got to stop this, and he was like, no, we ain't having this conversation. Let me go and break it so nobody goes back. Everybody do what I say, and if we make it to the ship, then you could maybe fix it. Otherwise, yeah, we just stuck here. And I'm like, what kind of plan is it? So I don't know. It was a good episode, good action. Like I said, your boy before he even got all the extra stuff, he was a beast because he was soloing them without all the upgrades. So that really, they don't stand a shot because he laid everybody out with no help.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
bro, what's Apocalypse original powers?
Before the upgrade,
Yeah, before the upgrades.
I just know he was a mutant. He was a powerful mutant. Is all I've ever heard.
It seems like invincible. He was just like strong. So
I guess that's probably what it is. I always wondered that, bro. I was like, yeah, what was his original powers? Like, cause I didn't read the comic where he that was based off of. I didn't read that one, so I always wondered because everything I've learned of Apocalypse was always, after the celestial upgrades.
I always thought it was like manipulation of his body of some kind.
No, he didn't.
But that's after the upgrades. Because notice when he got the celestial tech, that's when he kind of like
next level
his body or whatever. Yeah.
So they're saying that his base level powers are absolute molecular control and immortality. So that's before the upgrades, is what they're saying.
Jeez,
so the upgrades was him understanding what he possibly could do to himself. If you don't know what you can do, you know what I'm saying? Like he had no reference point. So once he understood, oh, there's levels to this, and then he was able to do it to himself, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
And the Celestials giving them powers too. Upgrades on weaponry and all that stuff too. That helps.
Yeah, they said they just upgrade everything and said so their powers included technopathy, energy projection, and the power to enhance mutations of others. So that's what was added. So he already could do the size. He just, I guess, didn't know he could do the size changing stuff, and he can regenerate and all that. They say because he can control his molecules, he can regenerate injuries, all that automatically.
That's the first mutant, huh? Jesus.
And immortal from the
rip. And immortal, yeah. But what you got, BA?
It's like I said in the group, the first thing I was saying towards the end of this. Well, I'm not talking about the end credits, but when you seen Magneto maybe take his last regular breath, it was all I could think was like, this is exactly how Kang should have ended in Ant-Man Quantumania. Like that was the first thing that came to mind. Like the first thought was, despite the ants and everything like that, it should have been Kang holding up either Ant-Man or Pym,
Right.
and just like, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And then you could have blacked out, or have the other person zoom into some type of other time, whatever you wanted to do. There should have been some type of like, yo, that's a crazy image I just saw. And we didn't get that, and that movie failed. And I think we got it in Apocalypse. That was a serious, significant moment. Even though if you knew it was coming, like, as soon as he took that first step in the sand behind Magneto, I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over for him. But it's Magneto. It's like, that's crazy. But Magneto was he was spent. He was exhausted. He everything that he did prior to that moment, like he was done. And Apocalypse knew what he was doing and set him up, and it was a wrap. So it's like, how do you beat someone that's just inevitable? Like, I'm always going to be here. When you think that you got it was real Thanos-esque. Like, it was real Thanos, like y'all did all that, and here y'all are right in front of me again. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's the vibes that I got. So we gotta find some way to get this on the big screen. We gotta find a way to have that, just the real Apocalypse, not what you saw before. Nah, none of that. That was all imitations.
You being disrespectful.
That was real. That was all imitations of Apocalypse. We have not seen the real Apocalypse whatsoever. And hopefully we get that moving forward.
Wait. Who do you think should play him? I got an idea, but who do you think should play him?
When I see his Egyptian self and everything like that, I seen a lot of, especially when he was bulked up. When I looked at The Rock, and I don't like Dwayne Johnson as an actor, pretty much. Like, I don't like I didn't like Black Adam, at least his rendition of it. But he doesn't need to do too much. He just gotta be stoic. That's the only thing that he does, really. That's the only thing that he does well, is be stoic. And that's what Apocalypse is. He's a very stoic, short. He go on monologues, but it's nothing crazy. But I would like to see someone like The Rock be be Apocalypse. Yeah, I think that's a good cast.
Now, you do know Apocalypse in the original comic series had the greatest line ever mentioned on TV. When he told me, he said, "I am beyond mutants, as mutants are beyond you." When he was talking to the humans.
Yeah, humans. Yeah.
I was like, oh. I'm like, man.
Is that going to lead to a person that you're going to bring up?
No, I was just going to say, I think they should go ahead and get. If you talk about somebody who's like, Middle Eastern looking, maybe like an Oscar Isaac type, somebody like that, who could possibly be.
I think I saw some things of that, and it didn't hit the same. It didn't have that wow factor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someone maybe like, we could fan cast maybe Moon Knight for him, maybe possibly, but not Apocalypse. But yeah, so that was like the main thing was what I realized that. I love the X-Men 97 version of Kang. When Ish hit the fan, he said, "I'm out of here, guys."
This is above you now.
He said,
yeah, I understand where this is going. Deuces. I'm out of here. That was entertaining. And it was just like I said, it was just a good show. It definitely picked up. Had a dramatic finish, and just because they understand the people that's watching, they gave us the end credit scene to kind of like, yeah, I know that was heavy, guys, but understand that it's still a TV show for kids and things of that nature. So here you go. Here's Wolverine and Captain America, and then he got snuck up on by Black Widow, which is crazy, but it happened. So I was like, okay, cool. They definitely dissipated the energy when it came to that scene. So that's somebody in programming or behind the scenes understanding this is going to be a moment in the season in which they need to decompress afterwards. Do we have a filler episode, or do we just go like how do you do that? And they did it with an end credit scene. So I'm not mad. It's pretty smart when it comes to that. But phenomenal episode. I guess I wait to get my rating, but yeah, definitely much better. Full out. I don't need to have an extra episode when it comes to that particular part. They did a good job.
To me, it was a fun episode. The pace of it was really good. The from the to me, one of the funnier parts was with Bishop. I'm surprised BA skipped over Bishop, to be honest. Uh, well, because like they didn't listen to him. Like you had this guy that's telling them that, yo, we got to get up out of here. This ain't for us. Am I the only one
Yeah,
that's sane
I
in
only
this
been through
loony
time
bin?
a million times, you know.
Yeah,
Don't listen
like
to me.
I'm the ultimate time traveler, and I know what's going to happen. So I need for y'all to roll with me.
Well,
And
despite
am
being
I
in
the only
Egypt,
sane one?
you know,
Yeah,
he's the black. He's black.
it's
So
yeah, yeah.
what,
And so,
was he talking about?
and for him to be like, "Yo, I know, I there's nothing for us here. We need to go back home." And no, we need to do our part. No, there's nothing for us here. We need to go back home and deal with it there. And by the end of it, it was, I told you. I told you it was going to happen. I needed for y'all to listen to me, and now we're short a alpha, omega level mutant now. Uh, it was just an incredible episode. The it gets you had the feeling that it was going to eventually be one of that Magneto was going to die, and then I got a little nervous. It's like when Charles showed up. It's like, Charles, your wheelchair but it's supposed to be out of here already. Why you still here? So I got a little nervous. It's like, is it now going to be him or him instead? And then when uh, Apocalypse walked up behind Magnus, it's like, yeah, it is what it is at that point. It was crazy how it also seemed like they flipped as well. Because typically Charles is the one that is heavy on redemption, and Magnus is like leave him to whatever happens. And but for Apocalypse, it was heavy. Like Charles was like, "Yeah, we can help, but it's just for us to be able to do this." And Magnus was, "No, we need to get him on our side." When that's what Charles typically is about, is getting him on the X-Men side, being a good guy. So being able to see that little flip right there was pretty fun. The Kang, where he was like, "Yeah, it's above me at this point. I did my part. Y'all didn't want me to conquer, so it's him now. So yep, let me go ahead and put this mask on. I'll catch you on. This is where your story takes over, Kendra, because he was like that. What are we doing at this point? It's above me, so I'm up out of here. I'm gonna go to a different timeline now. So that was pretty funny. They gave us a iconic meme at that point. Uh, the Yeah, it was like, I know that y'all said that the first three episodes seemed rushed, and that's what part of y'all ready for it was brought those down, was that they seemed rushed. For me, the reason why I liked it was that it helped us get to this point. Like you can see, it was still good storytelling, and that good storytelling continued with this one. And it just took this one to a whole new level because of what they were able to spend more time of when it came to Apocalypse because of that. They ran through those areas to get to this Apocalypse, and he came out full force. So I'm understanding why X-Men 97 has such a high rating at this point. What you got, Rare?
Well, y'all wasn't happy for this episode, bro. Y'all was not excited for this episode. Listen, this episode had me hyped. The fact that we got to see exactly what happened after episode 3, I think I talked about it on the last show. We finally got to see what happened, because I was like, I don't know how they're gonna get out of this, but then we showed that Magneto had that force field that kept everybody protected. It to the point, man, I kind of thought maybe something would change. I thought maybe they would kind of get into Apocalypse, but you kind of saw some of his facial expressions. I was like, well, no, I don't think he's gonna be able to win him over. There were a couple of Easter eggs we saw in this. Like you said, we finally saw Kang the Conqueror in his true form. We now see that Isan the Celestial is the one who's kind of pushing Apocalypse in that direction. Now we know where he got the motivation, and we got the technology and all that stuff from. So I think I asked you that, BJ, on one of the episodes, and that was like when Charles went to one of the guys, I think it was one of the guys, who was it, Apocalypse Mind or somebody's mind, and he heard that voice, and I was asking like, who you think that could be, and I was like, I think I heard a lot of people say it could be a Celestial, and now we kind of got that idea who it is, was Isan the Celestial. So he's the one. For folks who don't know, if you go back and look at, I think it's the first Guardians of the Galaxy when they showed that one clip on that monitor, and it showed that Celestial with that staff, and he hit the ground, and that whole entire planet blew up with purple energy. He's the one who was wielding the Power Stone, the Power Affinity Stone. So yeah, he's if you want to say a bad Celestial, that's what he is, a very bad Celestial. So he's the one who kind of in gave Apocalypse that ability. He's the one who was pushing him in that direction to be more of a destroyer, if you will. No Bears from Dragon Ball, but yeah, he's he's bad news. But listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that this show is different from when we were kids because we're able to do a lot of things they couldn't do when we were kids. As far as like the way they're killing people, the emotional pull that you get when people are dying. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, he about to kill a Magneto, maybe Bishop step in or something, like he come in or whatever, right? No, comes in like right after he dies. I'm like, bro, like, really, Bishop? You could have came at any point. You know what I'm saying?
No. He came at the right time. Don't do that.
Nah, bro. Say it then.
I don't need Bishop to go to. I don't need Bishop to go to.
Because he got Bishop the hands. He got him the pause where he was headed to the power.
Ain't listen to him no damn way.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. A little single tear might have came out my eye a little bit, man, when Magneto died, man. That was crazy. Yeah. I remember screaming at the TV like, what in the hell? Because that like I said, that whole entire scene, it reminded me of the scene with Gambit when he died in season 1. Like you kind of felt that emotional, and like everything got quiet. There was no background music, no nothing, right? It just got real quiet, and they focused on that scene, which kind of gave it a little bit more of that gravitas. When he passed, I'm like, God dang, that's crazy. And for
they let you
only cowards.
They let you sit in it. They let you sit on that. Yeah, just that emotion. Like they let you sit there like, that just happened. Just in case you was thinking something else was going to happen. No, that person really get out of here. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Bro, when he said only cowards feel mighty when stepping on ants.
Yeah.
And he walked past them. And like I said, you could just feel like that hurt and that anger from Xavier, bro. And then what made it even worse, it did the same thing in the first season when Gambit died. He got real quiet into the credits. Even the credits was quiet. There was no music, nothing like that in the background. So you was like, yo, you said like you said, yeah, you just had to sit there in that emotion and just kind of like, just rev in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the heck just happened? You know, like you said, I was thinking something gotta happen, right? Like something gotta save him. But then when it happened, I started thinking to myself, like, nah, they did say I think the showrunner or somebody said people gonna be dying in this season. So I just think it was gonna be Magneto. You know what I mean? But there are ways for him to come back here in the future. But we'll probably get to that later when we get to those episodes. But yeah, bro, this episode was so fire, bro. Like Cuz said, everything that we saw in those first 3 episodes led to that moment. And it's like what happened with Apocalypse in the past lasted a little bit longer than what happened in the future, because Apocalypse was in his little cocoon or whatever, trying to heal and all that stuff. So you really get to face him in the future. But in the past, you dealt with him before he even, what I'm saying, became who he was or whatever. And it's, bro, these showrunners, man. I was listening to John Campion too, BJB, but he said the same thing y'all said with the whole, episodes feel rushed or whatever, man. But even with the episodes feeling rushed, man, it just, I don't know. My thing is, I wish they were longer. That's my thing. I wish each episode was longer, about 45 minutes at least. You know what I'm saying? Add an extra 15 minutes. But other than that, bro, like these episodes been, I can't wait to the next episode. Give me 3 or 4 episodes. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ain't what you said, BJ. What's on your mind, man?
No, I was I asked the question in the chat earlier. I was like, have y'all been able to figure out what parts of this season are Bo DeMayo compared to because there's a new somebody who's coming and touched it up, because Bo wrote the whole second season, and then they had somebody else come in and make changes. So I'm like, hey, can y'all feel the difference in his stuff from season 1 to season 2? compared to the other aspects of it?
So
I felt the first few episodes was faster than what season one was. This felt like a bow episode for sure.
so with so I was hearing BJ, people were saying that the first season was rushed too. And so I'm like, I guess that's just their MO, trying to fit everything into 30 minutes. But nah, I felt like this is kind of where Bo was after, you know what I'm saying? More higher stakes. Like it's serious now. Now with Magneto dying, anybody can die. This is Game of Thrones now. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully this ain't like the showrunner ain't talking like the showrunner from who was that said was it the boys showrunner, man? All these deaths. He's like, oh, okay. With that long stretch without nothing or whatever, right? I'm not saying that I want to see people die each episode, but at least I want the stakes to feel like, oh man, like anybody could die. Anybody can die. Like, dang, I want Professor X to live. Oh, you do, huh? Well, he did die in episode 4. It's like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I kind of wanted to feel. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see.
Another question, and who do you think in this season is going to be the bigger threat? Do you think that Apocalypse is the ultimate threat, or do you think it's going to be Kang, or do you think it might be the Onslaught as we mentioned? Who's going to be the biggest threat to the X-Men?
It would have to end up being like Onslaught or not necessarily Apocalypse. It would something that's off that Apocalypse set up, because that's how season 1 was. Season 1, the big bad was just like it was what he did was sprinkle in the situation to where it was so bad early on, to where once he came on. And I felt like that they would do the same thing for this. Is that it'll be an entity or whatever sprinkled in all of this to happen, and then they'll show up probably around episode 5 or so, and then it's like, oh, okay, now this is the bad guy or the big bad that we're dealing with. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it'll end up being somebody outside of Apocalypse.
What do you think, B.A.?
I like the Onslaught, I guess, point of view. I think Onslaught maybe comes and destroys Apocalypse or weakens him or do whatever he needs to do to it, because he's stronger than Apocalypse. But it's like, what do we do now? And I think that's the thing now. Like, what do we do with this that they might have created or might have pushed Xavier to fall into or something? I don't know. It's just it's I think it's more poetic, it's more drama filled if it's Onslaught, and what do you do with that versus, oh yeah, Apocalypse is the big bad, we gotta find some way to beat him. Okay, no, we beat him or we weaken him or send him to a future time, whatever the case. Like, he's done. Like, it's that's kind of cut and dry, especially when you're starting to hint towards something like an Onslaught coming to, I guess, for the first time on TV in a sense. So, yeah, I'm going with that. Yeah, so I'll go with that.
This is my thinking, BJ. I think we're gonna stay with Apocalypse in this season because he's in 3 different time periods. Remember, what did he say in episode 2? After episode 2, I'm going back to, like, the one y'all be laughing at. I'm going back to the 90s or whatever, right? So he's going to be in the present, but we don't know what's going to happen with what happened in the past, how that's going to affect the present or whatever, right? I think what's going to end up happening, Charles is going to be we might not see Magneto unless they do like a flashback something. We're not going to see Magneto in this season, rest of this season. What I think is going to end up happening, we're going to probably see him in the next season, because I think what's going to happen at the end of this season, the very end, kind of like they did in the season 1. Season 1 led to Apocalypse. I think the end of season 2 is going to lead to Onslaught. Like, Charles is going to be so hurt that his mind's going to splinter, and that's when, because remember, he still had, like you always said, they always point to that part where he's mind controlling Magneto or whatever, right? That all that is setting us up to what's going to end up happening at the end of the season, where he's gonna kind of be so hurt, mind splintered or whatever, and then bam, that's when Onslaught is born. So I think they're gonna find some kind of way to stop. He ain't gonna kill Apocalypse. Some way to stop Apocalypse, but going into season 3, it's gonna be Onslaught, in my opinion. Because it's no point you having two major bad guys in one season. It means you wasted a major bad guy. You saved him, let him roll into the third season. Because remember, they're talking about doing 10 seasons or whatever it is. So, what you say, LBJ?
So we had Kang and Apocalypse in the same,
Well, I mean, but Kang is not really as big to the X-Men as Onslaught and Apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they used Kang was just like, oh, hey, y'all, I'm here. All right, now I'm going. Like, we're probably not gonna see Kang again or whatever, depending on what the situation is.
No,
so I'm trying to think. They killed off the Hellfire Club, but they're not really bad guys anymore. Well, maybe Emma will become an X-Men here in the show. I don't know. Emma Frost. Because I'm trying to think who all they can like have as bad guys. Maybe what's Charles' sister name? Cassandra. Maybe they have her. Yeah, Cassandra Nova. Sometime in the future as a bad guy. They already did the Shi'ar Empire. Maybe they come back or whatever. I don't know.
Would it be Joseph?
Mm,
he got to come back. So they may use Joseph as a way to bring him back.
Maybe. You think we'll even see Legion?
Not this season, no. Legion probably.
Well, no, not this season, but like eventually. You think we'll see Legion eventually?
I think toward the end, yeah. Maybe in about 2-3 seasons.
What's the dude? Well, no, they're not really. But they was in the old X-Men cartoons. I guess it don't really matter too. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting because, like I said, I think with Onslaught, that's one of the ones he need his own season. Now, I was gonna ask you this too. Now, in the comics with Onslaught, everybody was involved.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'll do that for X-Men 97?
They should. They did some crossovers of the old one with the the original. They had crossover episodes. I think you could bring in other heroes and stuff to help fight Onslaught.
We already seen. So in the comics, like the Onslaught finally got defeated by the Hulk. And so, like, are we gonna start seeing a lot of these other characters? We already seen Captain America, we've seen Iron Man, we've seen Black Panther, Black Widow. And I don't count Thor because Thor was more. So
right. No, you should count that too. Because it was like subtle, but it's could be foreshadowing at the same time too.
Their actual character going to be in this show. Is what I mean.
Right. That's why I think you should also like. I don't think they did that for no reason. That's what I'm trying to say. But to go with your point, I think that's why I did the end credits. And they showed you Captain America. They showed you Black Widow. They're saying like, everybody that like this is Marvel Universe. This is not just mutants and X-Men in a sense. So in a show that we're talking about, maybe this is the start of Onslaught as character. We even had on the same show, although it was the end credits, other forms of Marvel people. So it's like I don't think all this is done for no reason. You know what I mean? So I do think we're going to have some type of crossover event type thing, and we see where it goes from there. That's up to them. That's up to them and their writing ability and all those things. But I think all these things are they put it in the show. They didn't have to have that end credit scene. They didn't have to have Thor. He could have been Beta Ray. He could have been Beta Ray Bill. He was Thor. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just different things that I'm just putting together. But yeah, I agree. I think they're going to have multiple people, multiple factions, and see what's going on with it.
And I threw out Joseph. Y'all know who Joseph is, right?
Mm-hmm. That's his bro. His son.
Clone.
Oh, yeah, Clone. Sorry. Well, he called him father, so I was like, it's a son. But yeah, Clone. Yeah, you're right. So you think Stripe gonna be in this? Oh, you know what?
I think so. Could be.
BJ might be on to something. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. Cause he ain't been in the show.
Oh,
he been in the show since Joseph before he turned Stripe.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that. You might be on to something, BJ. Might be on to something.
I think for sure he's coming. Does whatchamacallit come with him then? It's not Rachel, it's somebody else. isn't it?
Oh, you talking about this? Well,
For
it's
Strife.
technically his sister.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
think so.
it opens that door for it, I guess.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good one, BJ.
That'd be crazy.
I can see Strife, but is he in the future or the past? I mean, not past, but the present or the future?
I was thinking
He finds a
future,
way to
but
come back to the present too. He got to because he fought the X-Men, so I guess that do make sense.
yeah.
And you know what? I like it, BJ. So you saying we're gonna get him before we get Onslaught? Is that what you're saying?
Because I think Onslaught, like I said, I don't think he'll be until probably season 3. I think Onslaught will be season 3.
Well, it's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think Strife gonna be in no season with nobody else. He think he'll be the bad guy if you're talking about doing it like that or whatever.
I think they would introduce him. I think they would introduce him first before Onslaught. I think Onslaught, but see, I think Onslaught's gonna make an appearance, and that's why I was wondering about Joseph, if they use Joseph as a way to, because I think we're gonna see Onslaught, and then I think what we'll see with Joseph is, they may put the mind of Magneto back into Joseph's body or something, at the end of that situation, since Charles would have absorbed his memories and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many different things they could do with this show, bro. I forgot all about Strife, because like you got to think 90s with the X-Men stuff. What was happening around the 90s and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. So Cassandra Cain, Strife, Onslaught. It's probably 3 the ones I think we're gonna probably eventually see. But I think with Cassandra, she's gonna probably be further down the line because she's more of a newer character or whatever. So we'll have to see how that go. Might even see Apocalypse again. You know what I'm saying? See Immortal or whatever. We'll see. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and turn the page here, man. Get into the main topic of the show, fellas. Oh, sorry. Kaioken Brady. Yeah. BJ, we get this episode.
For the impact, I'll give it probably an 8.95.
Just won't give it that 9. I hear you. What you got, B?
A show ending right. The show leaving a lot of eggs there, Easter eggs, and having an end credit. A TV show had an end credit scene. I'm going to give it a 9.2. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like that.
We got him back, y'all. We got him back. Welcome back, BA. What you got, cuz?
It just put Magneto die, That's all.
Oh man. Oh man. R.I.P. to Magneto, man. My guy out here, man. What you got, cuz?
I was going to give it a 9.2 since I gave last week a 9.1. So I go a little bit above BA, of course, 9.25. It was a fun episode. What was also funny that we didn't mention was that after Magnus had died, Charles was like, "I understand why your mama gave you an ugly butt up."
Yeah.
It took Magnus dying, but he pulled out the your mama joke. Like your mama didn't like you, so had to dip out on you because you
burn. Like, God dang.
Yeah. Oh, he hurt her. But yeah, I give it a 9.25. It was a fun episode.
I'm gonna give it a 9.3. Yeah. Listen, like I said, man, this is probably my favorite episode, in because of the impact. You know what I'm saying? Like what BA was saying, man, with him Magneto dying. Oh man, like if Magneto died, he said that's one of the heavy hitters. If he died, what do we have to look forward to in the future? You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, they are going back to the present now. We don't know what that did in the present. So it's gonna affect what's going on. I'm sorry, what they did in the past is gonna affect what happened in the present. You know what I'm saying? So man, I can't wait to I wish I kind of feel like King now, man, but we gotta talk about these episodes every show, whatever. But I mean, if I could have just held off and then just watched them all together, man, because this one episode, these weak stuff, man. What's going on, BJ? Talk to you, man. Tell them, hey, man, give me every episode.
Normal. This is normal. This is normal TV.
Hey, it was, bro. We used to wake up Saturday morning and go watch the show. It wasn't, let's go watch 20 of them in a row. No, you would go watch every Saturday.
Yeah.
This
is back to normal TV.
Hey, and I would have did it too.
It hit different, man. Like you can't have a regular show after watching that. Like not right away.
Man,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? So yeah, we got to sit and wait, man. It was needed. It was needed.
Oh man, I love this episode though, man. Now, y'all know next episode is gonna be that, like BA said, that end credit for Wolverine and Black Widow and Captain America. That story is also in the comic, and I think I said, man, this is the only show. I'm trying to make sure I think about it before I say this. Yes, well, maybe nah. Yeah, probably Earth Mightiest Avengers is probably closest. But this is the only show where I know where they literally adapted the comic book story directly to the show. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see that comic book storyline where Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow went off into that mission. So that's what I'm kind of waiting on too. Now I was wondering, what are they gonna be jumping back and forth to like different periods and stuff like that in time? Like what are we doing?
I don't think they have to now. With everybody back at the normal time slot.
Well, this next episode is gonna be. That's why I was asking. It's gonna be in the past before Wolverine got his his claws and all that stuff. Well, yeah, his claws, but the metal claws and all that. So I don't know. We'll see how that go. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.3, y'all. 9.3. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and turn the page. I keep forgetting I can touch the screen. Turn the page here, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to this main topic. Well, I ain't got no graphics for this one, fellas, but we definitely could talk about this. Just a quick question that we can kind of start a conversation on. We were talking about a little bit of it off camera. Just kind of asking the people who are watching the show, kind of get y'all's opinions too. Y'all can dive in on this too. Is a geek community becoming toxic, or should I say, is it becoming too toxic? Because it's always kind of been toxic already. BJ kind of gave some examples of some fandoms earlier, but like, is it becoming too toxic to where it's like taking you away from like loving this community? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get y'all thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, BJ. What's your thoughts, man? Is it becoming too toxic, man?
I think some of the communities have gone very negative, and it's not the whole community. It's some aspects of the community. Like there's, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and there's certain people who try and gatekeep Star Wars, which, like I said, to me, is crazy because, like we've always said, it's a universe. And they try and say, no, Star Wars is from this time to this time, what George Lucas did, and it's nothing else, and you can never have anything besides what George said. And I'm like, dude, you ain't talking about the 10 Commandments coming down from up on high. You know what I'm saying? It's a fictional story about these, even though they, so it's a fictional story. You have multiple people who contributed to the universe over the years, over the 50 years that's been around as of next year. So
dang, 50 years, boy.
Yeah, it's never just been one person that's done all of this stuff, because George didn't write all the books and all the comics and all the other stuff. So, and it's not just the one family. It's not just the Skywalker family. It's like I said, it's not just even the Jedi and all. There's a whole world of the Chris ascendancy, and you know what I'm saying, all the stuff. There's tons of stuff in there that we have not seen on screen yet, on the big screen. And like I said, the people try and gatekeep. We saw that. I think the most toxic version of fandom we saw was the Snyderverse crew. That was kind of funny, but it was ridiculous. But I think as a whole, I don't think the fans are toxic. No, I think fans are consumers. They're your customers, and the customers react to the stuff that they like and the stuff that they don't like. I don't think influencers are going to stop. I don't think people are going to sit and listen to us and be like, "Oh, I'm never going to see that movie because Jay said it was a bad movie." I think people, like, besides the joke I made earlier, I think people have their own opinions and they can go judge and decide if they like something. So my thing is, if the vast majority of people don't support what you're doing, then as consumers, as a company that's trying to sell and get your money, they need to do something to make you be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and change what we're doing so that way you can keep buying my product and I can keep getting your money. I want to make you guys
any
happy.
aspect of business.
But what we see now, like especially the latest thing, like with the Supergirl movie, like we've seen multiple times. I posted some of the videos where the writer, the studio head, not so much the director because he's been kind of quiet. I think he's trying to just duck out of it and let everybody else fight. But even Millie, like they all coming in saying, all these misogynistic people are coming in and destroying our stuff. Go see our wonderful film. Don't believe what everybody else is saying about it. This is a coordinated campaign. I'm like, coordinated by who? I'm like, people just didn't go support your movie. Like, and we talk about whether or not movies as an industry is dead, but and people point to stuff like this, right? They're like, oh, look at this, nobody wants to see, but we already talked about other movies that have been successful, and we're about to go see another movie in a couple weeks in Spider-Man, where they expect Spider-Man's opening day to outgross this entire theatrical run for the Supergirl. So I don't think it's a movies are dead thing. I think it's people want what they want. And if you give people what they want, then they'll give you their money. We've already seen it. Like I said, a Spider-Man Brand New Day is one of the highest pre-sales of all time, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is it not? If it's not number one, it's in top
it's
five.
up there. Yeah, top five. I think.
They're expecting it to have an opening weekend between now $255 and $260 million, which means it could top.
You changed your answer, BJ?
No, I just saw updates. I was looking at updates.
I'm saying, but you changed your answer?
They're saying it could pass the No Way Home, is what they're saying. So, because they're saying,
are you changing your answer though?
Hey, I could be wrong, sir, and I adjust when there's new data. So you know what I mean. Like, I'm not like I'm not somebody like, oh, I'm locked in on a position, and I got to be right even if I'm wrong. I'm gonna keep saying the same thing over and over again.
But because hey man, you had me sign with you and stuff, BJ. After like last week? I was like, man, I think I'm gonna sign with BJ on my my box office prediction or whatever.
Stand firm.
Yes. No, I watch the sales. Like I look at the sales numbers. I'm like, okay, the numbers keep going up. And I told you a month ago before when I went to go look at pre-sales, I was comparing the pre-sales for Supergirl to the pre-sales for Brand New Day. I'm like, even though Supergirl came out a month before Brand New Day was outselling a 3-1 in the pre-sales. I'm like, that's crazy. You would expect the movie that's dropping in a week or two would have, at least similar numbers. But when I'm looking, like I said, I was looking at the same theaters in the same places. I was like, okay, this is the 8:30 show in this same screen, and that one's got 50 tickets sold. This one's got 2 or 12, and I'm like, that doesn't look good. When I'm seeing people getting hyped for a movie that's coming out a month after your movie, and they're like, yeah, I'm not interested, and I'm like, so like to me, the toxic thing comes when the studios blame the fans for rejecting what they give you when you don't get them fans what they want. You know what I mean? If we came on here and all we did was, talk about something I want to hear, they're gonna tell us by not watching. And so my thing is, if a studio puts out something and nobody wants to see it, like, because I'm not a shield, I don't get paid by any of these studios. So if I did, I'd appreciate it. But if I come out here and I say I didn't like, what was BA's favorite show? Secret Invasion. Like if I come out and say I didn't like Secret Invasion, if I say I didn't like Secret Invasion, I'm a hater because I can't believe you like that show that nobody else watched. And I'm
they don't agree with you on that one, BJ.
But I'm saying there's other stuff. If people don't, so if I say I didn't like Supergirl, I didn't say I didn't like Supergirl. I just said I didn't think it was going to be successful. And when it's not successful, they're like, "Oh, you're a hater." I'm like, "Am I a hater? Or am I just somebody who pays attention to the movie business?" And I said the last Supergirl movie came out and grossed $45 million in like, was it 84, 85? And I did the cost adjustment. I did the adjustment on the money side, and that the money translates to about 137 million current day, which is probably where this movie's going to end up. As right now, I think it's at 108 million, almost 109 million as of today, and it's been out for 3 weeks. It's the third weekend, and it's steadily dropping. And so it's like, it may end up at 100. Like people say, it's not going to hit 150, so it may end up around 130, 130. It may hit the exact same percentage of money that the other one made 40 years ago.
That's crazy.
And that just means that people aren't interested in that character. And like I said, that's cool. It doesn't mean that they're racist, sexist, misogynistic. It just means that that's not something that people want to see. Because like I said, if you do a better job at making a story that people want to see, they'll go see it. But if you don't, they don't. You got to give somebody a reason to care and get about their money. When money is tight, people ain't just throwing money at everything, I know the World Cup's out and everybody's going to be going to the movies, but until you Until you give me a reason to spend my money on a movie, I'm not gonna spend money on a movie. Look at it. Oh, there you go. There you go. What you got, BA?
So when it comes to that, it's an interesting conversation, and the reason I say it's interesting is because it's consumer culture at the same time. It's consumer culture mixed with cancel culture. So what does that mean? That means if I'm watching a movie and I look this movie up, I'm not going to get like critically acclaimed people talking about the movie. That's not going to be Google's first showing. It's going to be somebody's YouTube video, right? Someone that got a decent amount of following, it's going to be their video. So if they come down on the video negatively, then it's like, well, shit, I guess I can wait. I don't need to see that right now, in a sense. So that could be 5 seconds. That could be 5 seconds worth of I click on it on I search it, the video pop up, and the first thing it says is, "Don't go watch this video." That's enough for some people, and it's that easy to back out of certain things. So now they're not even watching it, and I think that's problematic. We're too easily we look at too much stuff and say, okay, that's Bible, that's gospel, and that's good enough for me. I don't like that, and it creates a negative atmosphere a lot of the times. And then the second thing, I guess people's always going to be nasty. That's just one thing, but we are now like 20 plus years of able to say what you want on the internet, and then just and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's no accountability.
Yep.
We got 20 plus years of most people not being held accountable of some of the things that they say. So, they can go with a negative take and then just go and just keep going negative. And eventually other people of like minds will start looking like, yeah, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. And the next thing you know, that guy has a channel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just that's the world that we live in, and unfortunately, everything is a part of that type of culture. Everything. I remember I was vegan for a couple of years, and I was happy about it. And then when you're a vegan, you gotta talk about it, right? It's just something that you do. If you got a tattoo, you gotta show the tattoo. It's just a part of it. So when you talk about it, because people ask questions, and then you have conversations with certain people, and then they'll say things like, "Oh, well, that was pleasant. You make it sound different." I was like, "Well, what was different about it?" And then you unveil another culture of vegans that's like, some of these guys are nasty. Some of these people, like, I can't believe you did this and you eat this and you do all it. Like, it's a nasty vegan culture. And I was like, yo, that's what you listen to first. Like, that's your go-to. And I was like, yo, and that really put me at odds of it. I watch wrestling, and shout out to We Talk Combats, and we go through content and we listen to other people. Some people are just negative, and don't.
Yeah, I've been seeing the King stuff. Like, bro, you heard this dude right here?
Right. When the last time you said something positive about it? Like, it's not batting over 100. Eventually, it has some decent shows along the way, but according to you, everything's garbage and everything is trash. So it's like, God damn, it's just like, that's just the world that we live in. That's why I like shows like We Talk Comebacks, that we get weekly ratings. I love this show, because the show that I'm on now, we're going to give you a Kaioken reading, and it's either going to be 6, 7, 8, sometimes 9. Like, it's not the same. Oh, y'all know what it is. This is between a 5 and a 7. That's all you're going to get. Like, wait a second. I thought it was pretty good. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that you need balance, and the internet does create a unbalanced viewing of a lot of things, and as a result, things that we love gets victims of it. So I guess it's kind of is what it is. You just have to know it and just not fall for every single thing.
What you got, cuz? Shout out to the World Cup.
I think it can be a mixture of both what Big J and BA saying. You have your algorithm when it comes to the internet that is pulling people more negative. That's what they see a lot more of. And then you have with Big J, uh, just because a lot of the people aren't going to go see stuff if they just don't want to see it, And then if it's not what the people want to see, then it's just not what the people want to see, and it's on the studio to do a better job of knowing what the people want to see. So creating good movies, good stories, good shows, and then being able to do it well enough to where people will take the time and are willing to depart with their money to do so as well. So that's where having to spend uh, what was it, $30 for IMAX, $20 for a regular ticket, and then it's only increases if you're taking people with you, and then you have the popcorn and stuff like that. So it is on the studios to do better about it as far as your writing and everything. And then it's also on people as well that this is art. Art is very subjective, and to go in, it does seem at times that people do go in looking for a negative instead of just being open minded. And so
Yeah.
that's where it should be willing to be open minded. If it doesn't hit the bar, it just doesn't hit the bar, and just be honest about where it didn't hit. And if it does, oh, okay, well, I enjoyed it. Give it a 70. I enjoyed it, but it didn't do so well. Nah, this was garbage. I'm giving it a 50. This one, I'm gonna give it a rewatch, so it's gonna hit 8.5 plus at that point. So just that's where like Diego said, like we give these different ratings to and actually discuss of what we enjoyed about it, what we dislike. That's where people have to be more honest about themselves. Is uh, did they truly dislike it because it didn't hit the expectations, it didn't hit the markers, or are they just wanting to just be part of the crowd of dogpiling on. Uh, so that's where a lot of the things end up happening. Because you have movies like, what was it? Um, the Thunderbolts. Everybody talks about how well it did, but the numbers say it didn't do. It's not that good of a movie. But everybody that saw it was like, "Yo, this is a really good movie." So that's where you have the combination of good movie but low turnout. Then you have a movie like Supergirl, high expectations, didn't hit the mark, so it's a combination of bad, everything bad on that side. And then you can have a um, what is it? The car movies that's been coming out, the Fast and the Furious. Like they just drop a Fast and the Furious, and it's just gonna drop. It comes out, it's gonna basically make almost $1 billion. You have Avatar. It drops, it's gonna make $1 billion. So you have these movies that people just have an expectation of, and it's being able to hit those marks that they like. And so that's just what it is. Studios do much better writing original content, seeing what people like, and people being open minded and just being honest with their critiques of things instead of just following the crowd. That's what I got.
Listen, all y'all hear some points. I'm gonna say this, BA, you right, which is why I tried to start like channels like this because I was try to be more open minded or try to be as objective as possible on some of my takes. Like I always talk about when I started doing NBA content, right? I try not to listen to like the ESPNs of the world to sway my opinion on what I'm watching every day. Like I've watched and played basketball literally my whole entire life. I've been around it. My folks played it. You know what I'm saying? I played it. I've watched it. Whatever the case is, right? So I've had understanding of basketball for years. So I can watch. I can know what I'm watching when I'm watching a game and know what to look for. And so I do the same thing with the comic book side, right? Like I've been reading comics my whole life. Um, I see how toxic things are when people, like BJ was saying, people try to gatekeep. People try to be non-inclusive as far as like, it's only a particular sex or race of people who are allowed to talk about this or look at this or have their input or be a part of, right? And don't want to be inclusive of everybody else. We see that every day. Now, BJ, I agree with you. Supergirl could have been better and all that stuff. But a lot of the people that you hear online that's criticizing Supergirl, what we just say a couple shows ago, what was one of the reasons why they criticize her? Oh, she ain't pretty enough.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
it got
like
to
I
do with
said,
the movie?
no,
You know what I mean?
those people, yeah, those are wrong.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like with the studio be doing better, yeah, that's a totally different subject. We already talked about that already. We agree with him. We got a guy on James Gunn and how he's running stuff right now. But the people who, like you said, like BA was saying, they're gatekeeping. The people who are being negative and being nasty. The people who review bomb before a movie even comes out because they don't like the fact that a black character is taking the place of a white character or a woman taking the place of a man or whatever the case is, right? We got to get so many of that. Hell, you had people from the Star Wars community killing what's her name? What's their last name? Tran, the one who played Rose,
Hey,
to the point they ran the girl off of social media. You know, stuff like that. And when you see people like that, when you see fans like that, it's hard for people who aren't fans of Star Wars or whatever to be a part of that. It's like, man, let me join in on this fandom of this certain thing. When you see people like that, that pushes you away. It's like, well, damn, they like that over there about that. You know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay over here. You know what I mean? And that's how these people are nowadays, man. And the part that made me mad about it, a lot of the people that you see being negative haven't picked up a damn comic book, ain't read a graphic novel, nothing, but be the loudest people. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that made me mad too. It's like you said, you gatekeeping, but you don't even know anything about what you gatekeeping. So yeah, like I said, the toxicness is getting crazy. Like BA said, especially now with the way social media is more prevalent than it's ever been, and people can just say whatever they want now without any type of consequence or anything. It's getting worse. Because I'll see folks start making YouTube videos about something before they even seen the movie. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we kind of dealing with now. And then when you have those people do that type of stuff, then I mean, you give them the green light to the other people to kind of follow behind you to try to sway people's opinion. They don't watch that, like you said, the Zack Snyder fans. You got Zack Snyder people who make videos on YouTube already trashing Superman before it came out. Now listen, if it come out this bad, you know how we do over here. Like I'm gonna try my best to be as fair unbiased as possible, right? If a movie is good, we come here and tell you, hey man, I didn't like the script. Hey man, I didn't like the pacing. Hey man, they should have shaved off about 20 minutes. You know what? They could have done better if they had added about 15 more minutes to kind of flush out a certain part of the story or whatever, right? We talk about this type of stuff on here all the time. But you got other people who put their feelings into everything that they're all that takes. You are BJ, you hear me say it all the time on Cap and Crown. We talk about that. People putting their feelings in and stuff. He's like, bro, if you can just step back and be fair and unbiased, bro, that will help out everybody, right? Everybody can have a voice about what they did not like about the movie. I'm not talking about that. But when you start going into personal stuff with these movies or whatever, bro, it's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Because if we had actual critics doing that, y'all would kill them. So, but we say, BJ, my bad, I didn't mean to cut y'all.
No, I was agreeing. So my thing is with any of these, like people who attacked Millie Alcock's looks, I'm like, that's dumb. You know, and that's not a reason not to go see the movie. Or like I said, the people who are attacking the Odyssey who've never seen the movie yet. Movie ain't even out yet because of the Peter
Craig said that. He said, I'm not worried about them. They ain't seen the movie yet, so I don't know what they're talking about.
But there's a lot of that, and we know that's just irregular, ignorant racism. I mean, because to me, especially if you're a sci-fi, I mean, science fiction has always been usually aspirational and hopeful. It's about a better world, you know, going forward. And so it's like Star Trek. Star Trek is about, you know, they've solved all the main issues. Now you're going out to explore and discover and all that stuff. You know, even Star Wars, you know, is the little guys against the evil empire. But and the funny thing is, if you look at the other movies that, you know, there's a huge fan of, like some of my favorite movies, and I'm not doing my black fan, you know, my best friends black people thing, but some of my favorite movies, like if you like as far as movies period, not even sci-fi, but some of my favorite movies, The Matrix, you know, and I love Trinity in that, and you know, Neo was a star, but I think Trinity did some heavy lifting. But you know, or Alien, which is one of the greatest movies to me, Alien and Aliens, but Aliens is probably one of the best movies ever. Yeah. And it's like, and so, but when I see people, like I tell you, like when I saw people attacking, like you're talking about the girl that played Reva, I've got a name, Mo, some, you know, from from the Kenobi show. Yeah, like I said, just
yeah. She's one of the Inquisitors. Yeah,
the Inquisitor, just going crazy. Or what pissed me off too is the people, and if you talk about the Star Wars thing, the people who attacked Andor without watching, and I went back and watched, and after it got the rave reviews and everybody liked it, then I saw some of the guys go back and make videos. Well, I went back and watched Andor, and it was better than I thought.
Watched it.
Yeah, because I refused to watch, and the reason that they refused to watch because I heard like it was one of the guys who tries to gatekeep the George Lucas stuff because of that one scene in Andor season 2 with when the Imperial soldier tried to sexually assault the woman.
Oh yeah, oh girl, yeah.
And he was like, "That's not Star Wars. You can't have that." And so I'm like, "Dude, there's all kinds of stuff going on in Star Wars. You killed a whole planet in the first movie in episode 4. I'm like, they blew up a planet. Like, what are you talking about? They do terrible stuff all the time.
Didn't everybody die in was it Rogue One at the end?
Yeah. Did Anakin
you never seen that in Star Wars before?
So Anakin killed younglings? He was murdering children. And then but they're like, no, not that. I mean, yes, killing children on the planet, but trying to have your way with a woman, that's a step too far. Like that's too much for me.
And he's right. That's what they said in the show too. when she was trying to do it.
But I say that's the thing. Is like people, like I said, they try and gatekeep stuff that's dumb to me. Or like I said, the fans that are outraged that, oh no, this person. Now sometimes I do think the studios do stuff just to do like, we're gonna make this character, the ancient, we're gonna make it a white woman. And I'm like, I'm like, what y'all doing? It was the old Asian man, but now he's gonna make it, like, so that kind of stuff is weird to me. And I know they do it for different reasons. Oh, we gotta do this so we can go into China or something like that. And I'm like, but to me, I think the fandom can be strong. I think like I said, to me, I think you need to cater to your fandom, and I think you need to put out what the fans are requiring and requesting of you. And so if the fans say that they're not gonna get their money to stuff that they don't like, and that's how we should vote, is with our wallet.
But let me ask you a question on that, BJ, because we always hear people say that. We always hear people say to do what the fans want. If you go online, I'm guaranteeing you it's going to be a bunch of fans giving you different answers of what they want. Nah, do this. Nah, do that. Have them do this. Have them do that. It should be this. Oh, it should be that. So when we always hear people say that, like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about when we say fandom? Like, it's to a certain extent, you give the fans what they want, right? But at the same time, you need to put the best product out there for those fans. Because how many times have we seen stuff we're like, man, before we go in the movie, like, man, I don't know about that. When we go see it, like, oh, okay, it did work. It worked, right? It's because that's what the studio decided. Now, if it works or it don't work, you get criticized, if that happens or whatever. But the fact, like I said, we always talk about what the fans want. We've been online long enough, BJ. There is no unified answer to what the fans want. Just give them what they want. One. How many times have matter of fact, I think we talked about it one time. This one guy went out to me, yeah, but the fans want this. I've been a fan of that. I don't want that. You don't speak for me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to give the fans what they want. We don't really know exactly what the unified thing that the fans want.
There's an easy way to tell, though. There's an easy way to tell.
We want Batman.
What they spend their money on. So, like I said, people talk about people talk about Marvel fatigue, right? And what happened? What did we just talk about? Spider-Man is about to, from what we see, this one probably have a $500 million opening weekend. So, are fans tired of superheroes, or are they tired of stuff they don't want to see? And you can sit there and talk about homework. They say I was talking about homework, but this is the fourth Spider-Man movie. So,
this is the thing too, Big J. I've told you about this.
Spider-Man,
in my opinion, I've been saying if they had did Supergirl maybe 7 movies down the line, I think it would have been perceived different.
Yeah.
You cannot come out the gate. Like I've always said before, you got people like my wife. I always hear me say my wife, who don't know nothing about these comic book characters. You cannot come out the gate and say, man, let me give you this Calendar Man movie. Okay. But if you said, give me a Batman movie, I know who Batman is, right? You give them Batman movies, you give them Superman, Wonder Woman, all that. They know who those characters are. You cannot continue to keep giving them Calendar Man movies. It's not going to work.
Okay. You know so like you're saying, though, guess what? What was Sony doing for all these years? They were like, we're going to give you Venom movies. We're going to give you Morbius movies. We're going to give you Kraven the Hunter without Spider-Man in it. Yes. And once again, they're like, oh, this ain't working. after the fourth movie, they're like, okay, we need to
I'm like,
stop because
who signed off on that? I still don't understand who signed off on that, bro. I really don't. Like, I'm just like, bro, how in God's name did you say, yeah, this is it right here? And people, I remember people saying that, like, yo, how long this gonna last without Spider-Man, right? I think what was the second Venom movie, folks was like, oh, they're gonna put Spider-Man in here eventually. Craven, okay. No, Madam Web, and after that, they're gonna eventually give us Spider-Man, right? Morbius.
They couldn't even call him Peter.
Just kept going. I'm like, okay, what?
And Madam Web, they couldn't even say Peter. They were like,
yeah,
his name is Puh.
Hey, she could really see his
Uncle
name.
Ben's nephew.
A car drive by, honking his horn so you can't hear. Yeah, name is
like the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, like Fairly Odd Parents.
But people call me Dad, but my real name is.
Name is you. He called me Dad.
But like I said, what did Sony learn? Sony learned, okay, we need to stop this, or we think they learned. They claim they learned. But when you put out this, okay, so this movie, Spider-Man is about to make more money than all the rest of these movies that we've seen so far. The Craven, except for maybe the first Venom. The first Venom. But I'm saying, if you look at what this one's about to do, it's about to do $1 billion plus, which we know.
It's about to run numbers.
Why don't you learn the lessons as a studio? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about get offensive with the folks who just go online and scream into the air, because that's what people do.
Oh, you talking about like the movies in general, not like what's in the movies or whatever. No, I agree.
Well, I'm saying both. I'm saying it's both. If people aren't going out and supporting what you're putting out there, they're voting with their dollars.
Think of Mortal Kombat. First Mortal Kombat, we didn't like it. It got talked about. Money was meh. But then the second one, they fixed it. They cleaned it. It was much better. A lot more money was spent on it. Sonic, the first Sonic, they started dropping images of it. It got dog walked. They fixed it. Everybody went and saw it afterwards, and they started getting money. And so now we're like 4 or 5 deep of Sonic. Got a bunch of spin-offs and things like that. Yeah, so that's where it comes from. That's where the studio actually listening can actually help them. So it's not just necessarily on the whims of 3 people, but also you should at least have people ear to the ground to be like, all right, so this is a consistent issue. Maybe we should look at this. If you keep getting the same complaints, or there's a actual massive collection of this, and it's at that point the studio should step in and, okay, yeah, we need to do this a little bit different. So, and that's just the 2 that's just off rip actually made changes from before movie release, or even going from the first movie to the second movie that made changes, and the money followed.
I'm gonna give BJ. He probably didn't use this example. This wouldn't be a perfect example for him to use. What did Tom Holland do when they made this new Spider-Man? What did he say he did?
He said he did go and look at all the fan stuff,
the comments and all that. Yeah, remember, like I said, I know one of the things me and Cuz been yelling for years is just ground Spider-Man. Yeah, ground it. And that's one of the things he said he saw the most. People was like, man, just ground Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I mean, like I said, to a certain extent, but I think just overall, you know what I mean? And I think too that the studios be turned off by some of the like you said, they only want your money, right? They don't really care about your feelings and stuff like that. They just want your money. We always talk about Star Wars, just like, hey, man, just throw this Star Wars thing out here, put Star Wars on it. It's gonna sell. Don't worry about it, right? So I think it's more to the studios turned off by fans to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? It's like you talk about some of these toxic fans. Look at like you said, the Snyder fans, right? Look how toxic they are. Like they don't, to the point like a lot of studios. Snyder's over here at goddamn Netflix right now, because a lot of studios ain't like just clamoring to deal with them because they know what also comes with dealing with them. You got these fans that are toxic as hell, right? And so, I mean, like I said, to a certain extent, I always use that phrase that Bill Parcells said, man, the coach that listens to the fans are destined to be in the stadium with them.
Yeah, in the stands.
Yeah, so like I said, look, your job is to give us the best product you can. Now, with this space that we're in right now, I always said that I'm not saying that everything gonna be 100% great or whatever, right? But you have a starting point. You have a starting point. Your starting point is picking up that comic book that you talking about basing this movie or this show off of. That's simple.
Mhm.
I know, Big J. I'm just saying, like,
That's a step
you would
one.
think some of that should be common sense. What I tell you on the last show, I never understood why comic books are different from other books, right? With other books, like I said, I've seen folks like we watch these movies and stuff, man. The book is damn near like 100% like the movie. They might tweak one or two things to kind of like throw people off who read the book or whatever. But other than that, for the most part, it's pretty much like the book. Comic books are the only thing where it's like, well, no, we can't go too far like it because it's comics. Like, then why are you making a movie off of it then?
So look here. If you want to make Spider-Man one more day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say we're gonna take out the story about you and Mary Jane being married, we're gonna and deal with the devil. All that we're gonna change because fans ain't gonna get that. So let's change everything in it. Let's why don't we add in Shang-Chi and maybe some just whatever character's popular right now. Let's just add that in because that's what the kids want. But that's what studios often do is they'll sit there without
Then
reference.
why adapt that then if you're not going to adapt it? Like I said, like when we talked about Woman of Tomorrow, and I said this before, all these people are attached to this. You want to base it off of the Woman of Tomorrow storyline, but none of y'all picked up the book to understand. Why do you think we like the story? Like, why are you adapting it from that? It had to be a reason why you're adapting this movie from that story. Why? Now so you're telling me you're adapting it. It's not that great to us. We're just gonna take this one thing, make a movie. It's like then don't adapt it. Don't adapt it. It makes no sense. Like if you actually read the story, you would realize like, yo, this is actually pretty good. We can just take this and move it to the screen. Like I said, you could probably change a couple things up or whatever, but for the most part, adapt this and take it to the screen. But they're like, nah, we're gonna just take one or two things out of here. I'm not gonna even read it. Hey, the art looks nice. We just whatever. It's colorful or whatever, but we're gonna make the dark over here. It's like, well, then you wonder why people killing you or whatever. So, but I feel like we get wronged more than, like I said, any other maybe video game movies. They're getting better. Or video game movies and shows, they're getting better. But at one point they were getting, done dirty. But it's kind of hard to adapt to video games sometimes to movies because it's you are the one who's making the story as you go or whatever. So I don't know. But
no, I push back on that one real quick. It's just because you're making a comic and you have to put some thoughts together so it's not crazy. A video game is just like they just started to have like good, well thought out video games. You could have the basic plot and just like just let them shoot some aliens or something like that. Cool, run it. Comics, like I have to read through it and it has to make sense. That's the only difference. Now they're starting to have better games because they starting to realize that some of the normal consumer does pay a little bit more.
They got real writers for video games now. Yeah, they got real writers
as they should.
Games now. Yeah,
as they should.
Yeah. But like I guess I mean for like a Sonic or something or like a Mario, those don't really have like stories. It's just like you just playing through levels or whatever, right? So you got to kind of make up your own story or whatever to that. But no, you're right because what's the show that on HBO? I'm blanking. Last of Us, right?
Last of Us.
That's a narrative story within the game or whatever, right? So yeah, you can just take that narrative story and put that on the writer wrote it for you. Just adapt it to the. They pretty much did that with the show. So that's probably one best example where it's like, okay, they actually took what was in the video game because of the narrative writing and took it and put it into live action or whatever, right? And so, but yeah, I always wondered that about video game. I mean, about comic book movies. I've always said this, like, why are y'all afraid to adapt it full fledged to the screen compared to any other thing? Like I said, if that's the case, you that embarrassed by it or whatever, it's this and that, then why are you adapting it? Then go do something else. You know what I mean? So, but I got anything else I want to add?
The only thing I was gonna say is I do have a problem when, like I said, when the audience rejects your product, then you come at them and be like, "Well, you guys are too stupid to understand what we're doing. We're artists."
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that, bro.
That's kind of what they're doing right now at DC. They're like, "Oh, you guys are," I'm like, so it can't be that y'all didn't put out something people want to see. It's you guys are negative, and I don't understand why you don't like what we do. But please go watch our movie for us. And I'm like,
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that, BJ, because it's twofold with this Supergirl thing, right? Like I just said a minute ago, where they was killing Amelia Alcott day one. There are people kind of being, misogynist to the writer or whatever. Like now we talked about her writing here on the show, we did not at once use anything about her sex on the show. We talked about what she did. We talked about her history. Like, hey man, you read off her history or whatever from what you call. Okay, B. You even read off the what's the name on her IDMB or whatever, right? The fact that we only talking about what is her work talking about or whatever, right? That's what we're talking about. And the fact that we are that, and that's why I said we're trying to establish a community of people, man, like where we only are going to talk about what we don't like. I mean, as far as we're trying to be as fair and as unbiased as possible when it comes to your work. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we killed, people are like, oh, you're killing Kathleen Kennedy because she's a woman. Like, no. Me and Cuz was killing the folks over at WB when they were doing the DCEU too, murdering them. And that was men that was running that. Like I said, I don't care who it is. It could be a man, woman. If you're not doing your job correctly, I gotta step in and say something. As like you said, BJ, as a consumer, I gotta say something. Now, like I said, I'm taking the sex out because at the same time, you also heard me say Kathleen Kennedy is probably arguably the greatest executive producer of all time. Of all time. But as a studio head, she did not do a great job. The same thing I just said the other day with James Gunn. We was on board for James Gunn being the studio head. But there are stuff that's starting to happen right now. Now, if it continues, guess what? I'm going to be on here just like I did with Kathleen Kennedy doing the same thing. Right? And so that's why I said, like, it's nothing to do with your sex or your race and none of that. Your religion, none of that. The work, you're getting paid to do a job. Are you doing the job well? Yes. You doing the job well? No. Then we comment on it. That's it. I'm gonna try to be fair to everybody. You know what I mean? That's really what I try to do when I step into this space. You know what I'm saying? For sports or anything. You know what I mean? I try to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think a lot of people, like I said, when BA was saying, a lot of people started to kind of put their feelings and stuff like that, man, and their biases and stuff into their takes or whatever. And then it's like influencing a lot of people who kind of like on the fence. And they kind of pushing and swaying people certain ways or whatever, man. And that's when they start building up to their toxicity or whatever. So, but you said something, BJ?
Yeah, I agree 100%. So, and that's just society right now. Society, like you asked me the question about did I change my mind on Spider-Man? I'm like, I'm one of those people. Like I said, I'm an accountant, and like I tell y'all before, a while back, for about 2.5, 3 years, I worked for a movie theater company as an accountant in charge of all this stuff. So I know from the number side. So that's why when I look at stuff, I don't look at it from strictly fan base and all that. But if I see something, if data tells me that something's going to go a certain kind of way, then I'm going to go based on the data. Besides when we talk about objectively, like the subject matter of the story. But I mean, like when I'm looking at from analyzing number wise, I'm like, okay, well, no, this is going to probably do this based on what I see. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If the numbers change or some outperforms, then great, people making money, But like I said, we do have to challenge some of these studio heads though, because like we said for years, like Warner's been bad for years. Like we know that because they gave us the first Superman, then they also gave us the Quest for Peace, and so they have a history of putting out trash and going to the well too many times, and that's just some of these. And same thing with, like I said, Sony. Sony puts out a lot of bad stuff. That's why they're so desperately trying to hang on to the Spider-Man rights, because they know that's their most valuable thing. It's like, but when I say that they need to pay attention, I don't say pay attention to the toxic people, the ignorant people, all the racist people, because like I said, a lot of studios don't pay attention for the right way. Like we saw, to give you an idea, and we go back on something we always laugh at. What did studio learn from the Morbius movie? What was the first thing they thought when they kept seeing people talking about it's Morbin time online? They thought, oh, people excited. Let's make another.
You want a Morbius? You want Morbius too? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. We're going on it right now.
They didn't understand. People are making fun of us. They're like,
they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you, sir.
But that's a lot of their studio people. Like they don't understand, and they think they're like, hey, and they make decisions for sometimes strictly money, or they think stuff's gonna be a cash grab. And it's like, instead of like what's gonna be the best product or what's gonna be the best story that we can tell, it's how can we make the most money. And like I said, you're in the business, but a lot of times making something artistic from strictly money purposes fails because you take the art out of it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, fellas, we need to get to these questions, these comments, man, so we can call it a show, fellas. right, BJ, I might need you to read these for me because it's going a little small on my screen here.
Yeah, it's perfect for him.
8.95 is diabolical. I mean, hey.
Give it a 9. Give it a 9, BJ. What we doing, man? Let's go ahead and give it a 9.
Okay, so once again, I don't want everything
give
to
it
be
an
100.
Give it an 8.99, man.
Everything can't be
9,
a 10.
8, and 100. 9, 8, and 100.
If everything's a 10, then nothing is. It's like what my boy Syndrome said. If everybody's super, then nobody is. If every show we watch is a 10 out of 10, then that means nothing.
Hey, we only
But
gave
it's
one
not-
thing. Well, one of us gave one thing a 10. You know, BA did.
I gave something a 10 before. But it has to be something exceptional. It can't be just everything. Because I'm like, if everything is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I think it was season 1. We've
forgot.
given a couple episodes of X-Men a 10, maybe 1 or so.
Watch that. I thought that was the first time we had a 10 on the show with BA when he did that. Who was watching? And he gave it a 10. Was it Game of Thrones? One of Game of Game of Thrones. House of Dragons. Yeah, I thought he gave it a 10. One of the episodes of 10 or something. And I was like, oh, we got our first 10.
Yeah, it could have been.
Hold on, BJ, you and 10? That don't sound right.
Nah.
Probably negative 10. Yeah. All right, we got right here, BJ.
100% it is. I envy my friends who aren't tuned into fan spaces and just enjoy the product. Yep.
Fair.
And that's what I've been saying, Pluto. Like I've been saying this to Cuz for years. Yeah, we talk about it all the time. My cousin Cam talk about all that stuff. Yeah, we talk about it, but we automatically assume that everybody that around us, is into that type of space too. That's why we always use our example of our wives. They don't know none of that stuff, man.
They don't
Why
care
they ask
about
us
it.
questions, and my wife watches, heavy spoilers and all that stuff, so she can learn and all that type of stuff. So yeah, a lot of people don't know about that stuff, man. So yeah, as for them, like that's why a lot of times, like whenever we watch a movie or something, I ask my wife, like, what you think? Especially if it's something like we gonna talk about the show, like what'd you think about it? So I kind of give y'all a broad idea, like, okay, so a lot of the normies, this is what they think. You know what I mean? So
we had a discussion about this recent X-Men episode. She was like, "Yo, we gotta talk about this."
yeah. Oh, okay, watch X-Men, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
Must be nice. I'm still trying to get mine to watch. She still ain't watching
What? Oh no,
bro!
I like her in season 1. It's like, yo, this is a classic. You got to watch it.
And she even be like, "Oh man, they online talking about this and that with the X-Men." I'm trying to tell you need to watch that show. You're not listening to me though.
Yeah.
And I told her, you watch everything else animated. She even watch What If. I said, babe, this is way better than What If.
God, that's
watch
crazy.
What If. I said, you gotta watch X-Men. Even Valencia was trying to tell her, like, yeah, you need to watch X-Men.
Yeah, it's different.
But what we got here, BJ?
So Pluto saying again, my boy didn't care to see Supergirl based off reviews, but he didn't treat it like the sky is falling for DC. He's just looking forward to Lanterns and Man of Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's fair. Like I said, I'm not upset when people like criticize a movie for valid reasons. Like, yeah, that's fine. Hey, it didn't work for me. That's fine. Like Cuz said, it's subjective. You know what I mean? So art hits people different in different ways, which is fine. But like we start talking about, I didn't like it because she wasn't attractive. Like, bro, they're not.
Yeah, so you're wild.
Not listening to you. Go to somebody else. Now we got BJ.
So Salam out here. What's up? It said the Chud naysayer community. Oh, so the Chud naysayer economy is profitable. YouTube promotes them and it gets views. It's so bad that reputable media like Variety and Hollywood Reporter have joined in on being toxic.
Yeah. Yeah, that Variety would never live down what they did with Sinners.
Oh, and they still killing them for that.
They should.
And Pluto's back. He says the backlash Nolan of all people is getting for the Odyssey shows me how toxic it is, like faking the number of dislikes the trailer had just to fit their narrative.
Yeah. Did you watch that episode, BJ, of John Campia talking about that?
I watched a clip of him talking about it, but I didn't watch all of it.
Bro, I told you. So like I've been saying, he's the only guy I really follow like that. Like I follow Heavy Spoilers and New Rockstar and all them because they break down like movies and trailers and stuff. But for John, like when it comes to movies, he's really the only guy I follow, not because I agree with everything he say, because I don't agree with everything John say.
Yeah.
I follow him because
but it's fair.
When it comes to certain things like that, John literally does his due diligence, bro, and go and research and figure out and get to the like, hey man, everybody's saying, this is got like I said, he's got 1,000 dislikes or whatever. Let's go and research and find out where that's coming from. And he did the whole entire research, bro, and found out it was coming from some website that you can go on and monitor dislikes because you can't do dislikes on YouTube anymore. Or it don't show dislikes anymore on YouTube. So he went and showed all that and showed you like why it was that way. I was like, bro, that's why I follow John, bro. It takes us like a lot of stuff I don't agree with, but with that, that's why I follow him, bro.
And Pluto's again saying lanterns prove the gatekeeping is just to hate. John has always been given a ring by the Guardians in comics, but everyone was complaining about doesn't the ring choosing the lantern?
Because a rarity though, or like off Earth, doesn't it?
Well, we gonna have to wait till the show. Like I said, because people people speculate too off a lot of stuff that they hear people say, and a lot of people they be saying stuff don't have connections or whatever to these shows or movies. So let's just wait and see. Because I mean, we'll see. I could probably. I mean, the ring is supposed to choose you or whatever, but we'll see. Maybe they're doing something different in the DCU. I don't know.
And he also says these geek creators making thumbnails where they're gloating about a film or show's failure. They're not fans, they're grifters. They're low-key trying to kill the market they're grifting off of. You know, Salam, I don't know if you ever watched Birdman, as I think I've shared some of his videos with Birdman. He does tear those people apart who will bomb stuff. A lot of times we've never seen stuff. And I started paying attention to him when he was talking about he was going to somebody else for bombing out what was that show that we liked? Ironheart. He was talking about Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
And people just going off, review bombing the show, and I'm like, that many people could not have seen the show because it had like I think like negative reviews the first night. I'm like, 2,000-3,000.
Yeah, oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
we talked about that. Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way y'all watch the show. Y'all just going out there right, and a lot of people copying and pasting the negative reviews.
Yep.
And it's like, and I think
didn't you come on the show, BJ, and we're talking about they started taking some of the stuff down on Rotten Tomatoes?
They did because it was just people. Yeah, it was copy pasting. So it was bots posting these accounts, and so they went and removed all that.
Now that's the thing too with the reviews on. So I was telling Cuz years ago they started reviewing. They can verify if you've seen the movie, right? Which is why the audience score is weighed heavily on Rotten Tomatoes now because you can verify the person actually watched it. It's different with the shows. It's a whole lot different. There's no way you can verify that. You know what I'm saying?
Sort of. I think, but if I'm not mistaken, the way Rotten Tomatoes verifies is you have to buy it through what is that? But no, you have to buy the ticket through a certain site.
And I think you have to give a certain number off your ticket too.
I forgot the number because I think that's how they track. If you bought, I forgot the site that they use though. It's
because I was gonna send a review a couple of years ago off of I forgot what movie it was. I was gonna do a review. My wife wanted me to do a review of a movie we both liked or whatever. And I can't remember what it was, and that's what it was. I think it's like go after like your ticket number or something, some kind of a number on your ticket or whatever. But yeah, it's a way you can verify that you actually watched. They started, I think,
Fandango
about 3 years ago now. Cuz what I tell you about 3 years ago.
Yeah. Probably longer than that, but
yeah, probably longer than that. But
yeah, they said they key it off of Fandango automatically, and there's certain other partner platforms, but they said that's the primary one is Fandango. So if you buy your ticket through Fandango, then you could leave a review. And I'm like, So Slomo says after the success of Venom and Joker, the light bulb went off all over the studio execs' heads and probably thought this was the way. Like the Mandalorian, huh?
No, but I better say no Mandalorian. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like BJ said, it's like they saw one thing working, like, oh, you're gonna continue to keep doing that. It's like, no.
Speaking of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So Cat's still screaming back to Snyderverse after Rebel Moon. These people are nuts.
Oh my god.
Which is why I use that example, Salam, of the Netflix. I said, man, Snyder over here on Netflix or whatever, right? They stopped. I think they stopped that partnership with him after what was it? The how many Rebel Moons they do? 3?
I thought there was 4.
It's supposed to. Yes, I think it's supposed to be 3.
Because he did a director cut for both of the 2 movies too. I thought it was 3 of them, but I could be wrong. I only watched the first one. Oh my god, y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm mad at myself for watching that, bro. That one was trash.
I mean, it was Snyder, it was Netflix, it had the ingredients of something being fun.
Right. I mean, I've said before, man. I told my wife that I said, man, if it's a movie, it's like a dice roll. Like you get lucky every once in a while if you hit on a Netflix movie. Shows they kill shows, but movies, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Plus, says I agree with you, Rail. When you adapt a short story like Woman of Tomorrow, oh, something popped up on my screen. The block out. With comics, those since there are so many different versions, I'm cool if you at least get the character right and then create your own story.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. We have examples of that or whatever, but it just, I don't know. My thing is, it's different when you are like, let's see, let me give you an example. Okay, Superman, right? Superman, the first one, the James Gunn Superman, that wasn't based off of a particular story, right? That wasn't based off a particular story. It was just your original story you kind of came up with and you made a movie. That's fine. Now, when it comes to with Woman of Tomorrow, Supergirl, you were supposedly basing that off a actual story. It's not the first time that we've seen that where they basing something off a story and it's just like, we're just gonna take bits and pieces of it, right? And it's like my thing is, why can't you just adapt the story? That's one of the greatest comic book stories of all time. Just adapt it. It's great already. You know what I mean? Like, cuz I would say, you got this. It's right there. It's your studio, your property. There you go. Nah, I'm gonna go way over here with it. Oh, okay, well, good luck. I mean, I ain't tell you nothing else.
Pluto said, like the Watchmen TV series is the perfect example of making it feel the world, but with a whole new story.
Yeah, it was like it's like a sequel to the movie, or to the story in general, because they had the squid in the show. They didn't have a squid in the movie, but yeah, like something like that. Like that's not based off of anything in the comic. It was just like you said, it had the feel of the story and all that stuff. Which, like I said, that's fine. That's fine. If you decide to go that route, that's fine or whatever. They did a great job, or whatever. That's fine. But my thing is like if you're gonna adapt a certain story, you know what I'm saying? You gotta just put the story out there. That should make it easier for the screenwriter too. It's a cheat code. You know what I mean?
And Pluto says, I haven't felt that from DC though. Safran didn't blame the fans for Supergirl, in my opinion, unless there's something I missed. Safran,
no. No, go ahead. You finna say what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Not gonna say Safran, no, but the writer Anna Neguera has, Millie Alcock has.
She been worse than anybody though. She been worse. She been way worse. The writer
Neguera's worse. But then, like I said, when James Gunn came out, at first he apologized, then he flipped and came back and started attacking fans again. And I'm like, dude, he's one that maybe online too much as well. James Gunn. Yeah. Sometimes you need to go shoot your movie and keep it moving. But like I said, he reacts to too much fan stuff. And like I don't have a problem with him saying like, "Hey, you say I cast somebody and I didn't cast him or whatever," or you want to guess the Easter eggs on my show and he wants to interact with, that's fun. But when he's upset because fans are questioning his creative decision, or like we did when we saw the show and we were upset about what he said.
Episode,
yeah. When you hyped up,
like I'm only going by what you said. It's not something like you said. This ain't something we just made up on our own. You told this. It didn't give it to us, so it's like, okay, I'm mad.
He says the Mandela effect. He didn't actually say those words that it was the best thing he's ever filmed. We thought he said it. He said he had more fun filming this. And so
BJ, he didn't say it on multiple interviews. BJ, he didn't say it at all. No, I don't count. It's crazy.
See, exactly. Even James after Peacemaker finale was like, I love the work we did, but I don't know. Not everybody will feel that way, and that's fine. That's not. See, before that episode came out, he said that was the best thing he ever shot. Shoot. And we were all like, "Whoa, man, this is the best thing," because we were talking about.
BJ, didn't he say that like episode 3? Man, that's that finale though. Remember he said. Remember they said they weren't showing people the last 2 episodes. Remember that? Correct. They weren't showing critics that because it's so mind blowing and spoilery. Like, oh, okay, yeah. 7 was great. Like, okay, now we said on the show. Okay, I see why he didn't want them to see 7 yet. It's a lot going on. So we in here like, man, if 7 was like this, and he said, like you said, BJ, gonna be the greatest episode of all time. 8 gonna be like, oh my God, And then we got. So you're right.
Fans on the boat.
Yep.
Pluto said it's fans attacking each other and the press that build that narrative more than anything, in my opinion. Variety be licking their chops when press starts for a geek product.
Yeah, because it's the most popular right now. It's the most popular genre right now.
Plum said, did y'all see the campy report on that Doomsday was having some issues in the edit? oh boy, in my opinion, they have to get this right, and the geeks are waiting to pounce.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Was that today, Salam? Because I didn't watch it today yet.
I saw something. I saw something a couple days ago about it. Somebody was talking about some stuff going on with Doomsday, and I'm like, can't be playing around with it. You got to stick to landing.
Right.
I'm praying.
Buddha says, I was saying the ring does choose you except for John. In the comics, he's the only Lantern to be given a ring by the Guardians and not another Lantern dying.
Yes. Because matter of fact, remember they gave it to him. It was supposed to be Guy Gardner originally in the comics, but Guy got passed like twice. Got passed up twice or whatever. And so you're right.
And Plus said, LMAO chill. I left some room for myself and said, unless there's something I missed.
Oh man. Oh, did he say one more here?
Well, saying can't be mentioned. Salam said can't be mentioned as a side note on the show a couple of episodes ago.
Oh, okay. I might have to go back and watch it and see what he's talking about to see the context. But yeah, man, listen. Definitely appreciate y'all, man, geeking out with your boys, man, for another episode, man. Shout out to the folks who just subscribed to the channel, man. Listen, we'll be back here on Tuesday, y'all, for more geek content. If you guys are new, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. If you're over on Twitter, man, come on over here to YouTube and hit that subscribe button and join us here for these conversations, man. We do this every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning, y'all. And also, too, if you guys can hit them likes for us as well, that'd be much appreciated as well. So with all that being said, man, it's your boy Rare. Got Big J in the building. Cuz BA was on with us too. Cuz we geeked. We talk about all things in the geek culture involved in movies and television. Got a dog right here by my feet. She ready to go outside. And we out, fellas.